Are you being cheap with your goals? Now think about this for a moment. Oftentimes I hear people say that when it comes to coaching or mentorship or really getting the guidance that they want in life, that they really love the idea of it, but they don't have enough money. And so what I find is inevitably that if you really, really want something in life and you've made a decision for it, the money will show up. But people often get into this habit of, it's a very unresourceful way of thinking. They say, well, I don't have the money right now, but you can find it. If you really want something, you can always find the money for it, right? So the real question is, are you really committed to your goals or are you cheapening them? If you think about this for a moment, if you really, really wanted something badly and you wanted change, if you wanted to start a new business, if you wanted a new career, if you want to create a new life for yourself and you had such a strong burning desire, do you think that there will be any obstacle that would get in your way? Probably not. So the attitude that I've always taken to myself is that I'm going to invest in myself relentlessly and unremorselessly, because I know that the more I invest in myself, the more dividends it's going to pay in the future. People always seem to find money for renovations that cost thousands and thousands of dollars, or money for a car payment. And yet when it comes to coaching, mentorship, guidance to help them get unblocked, to make more money, to have a better quality of life, to enjoy their life, to feel better about themselves, oftentimes they tell themselves, I don't have enough money. The reality is, it's not a case of having enough money, in my experience. It's a case of choosing to take a different perspective, taking a more resourceful, empowered perspective on your situation, and not allowing your circumstances to hold you back from going after what you want in life. Because that's the hallmark of any successful individual, is that they don't allow their circumstances that hold them back from achieving what they want in life, and they choose to take an empowered perspective instead of letting the outside results control their thinking and determine how they should think and act. Now, what am I talking about here? So for example, let's say that you want to invest in coaching or mentorship, whether that's with me or anyone else, and you say to yourself, well, I'd love to do it, but I don't really have the money. Is it that you don't necessarily have the money, or are you scared to invest in yourself? Are you scared to get a bit uncomfortable? Are you scared maybe to put money on a credit card and pay it off because you've never done that in your life and invested in yourself at such a high level? How would the best version of you think and act? How would they consider that situation? Or are you thinking that savings are only for a rainy day and buying into this middle class utopia of how life should be, which is actually what keeps people broke and unsuccessful and unfulfilled in life? Or are you thinking that actually my savings are for investing in me, in my life, because I know that the best investment I can ever make is in me? At least that's how I've always thought. When I started my business several years ago, I didn't have any money left. All my savings were depleted, but I knew that investing in myself was going to be the best ROI ever. So to get coaching and mentorship, I got out loans, I got out credit cards, all sorts of things. And I didn't bat an eyelid because I knew that it would pay off eventually, and it did. And several years later, I'm still going strong. My business keeps improving year on year, and I've never gone back to my corporate job ever in my life, right? But if I hadn't been willing to bet on myself in the beginning and get a little bit uncomfortable and go after what I really wanted, as opposed to letting excuses or the outside circumstances control me, I would have never gotten to where I am today. And I want you to consider, are you going to let circumstances control you? Are you going to tell yourself that you can't do it, that now is not the right time, I don't have enough money, etc., etc.? Or are you going to step forward and go after what you want in life? Because most people's way of thinking is that it's unprudent to invest in coaching and use your savings or put it on a credit card, invest heavily in coaching. But most people don't have the results that you want. Think about that for a minute. So is it that you don't have money, or is it that your perspective, the way that you're thinking about it, may not necessarily serve you? So I encourage you, for anything that you want to achieve in life, all about your perspective. Are you choosing to take a perspective that's going to help you and serve you, or are you cheapening your goals by choosing a perspective that's very narrow and is not going to serve you? And I encourage you to go after the former if that's what you really want in life, and I can definitely help you achieve that.